Hi guys, this is Nathan Power. Welcome to my channel. So in my last video for the ETL testing, I covered the different types of fact, different type of dimensions, and in this video, I'll be covering the dimensional modeling. What are the dimensional modeling and different types of its? So first of all, what exactly the dimensional modeling is? Dimensional modeling is a data structure technique optimized for data storage in a data warehouse. The sole purpose of this dimensional modeling is to optimize the database for faster retrieval of data. So you know that we have the data warehouse, and in data warehouse we have millions of record stores, and we don't want that it will take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to retrieve the data. So to minimize those times, we need to store the data in fact and dimensional in such a way that the data retrieval will be the fast. So the techniques to do that, we can call it as a different types of schemas by which you will design your database based on those schema. So what are the schema available for us? We have star schema, we have snowflake schema, and we have galaxy schema. So we'll go in those details. First of all, what is star schema? So in star schema is a like in which the fact table is in the center and it is surrounded by the different dimension tables. So we can say that a star schema is a type of relational database schema that is composed of single central fact table and is surrounded by different dimension tables. So in this example, you can see that we have a fact table for the revenue. We'll have different columns where dealer ID, model ID, branch ID, date ID, unit sold, revenue. So these are the fields in the fact table, but this fact table is surrounded by different dimension table. There might be a like date table, product table, a dealer table, a branch table, and if you look closely, you can see that for every dimension table, a field there is a relation between that fact and dimension. For dealer, you can see that dealer ID is present over here. So it's like foreign key concept. So primary key of this table, dimension table, it's populated in the fact table. So it relates as foreign key. So we know for that, like I will try to cover those things into different video. What is the primary key and foreign key? I'm just hoping that you know that the difference between the primary key and foreign key. So based on that, I'm just giving you this example. So in this star schema fact table, you just have to notice that fact table is surrounded by different dimension table. So whenever this schema is there, we called it as a scarce schema. So first of all, like your architecture project, every project will have those architecture, and that project architecture, that person will design the database based on the business requirement, how much data they have, and he will try to analyze what is the requirement they have. Based on that, they will try to design the schema. So it depends on project to project. So I've covered this schema. Then we'll go to the what is snowflake schema. The snowflake schema is consist of one fact table that is connected to many dimension tables, and which are indeed are connected to other dimension tables. So in previous example, you've seen that we have a fact table that was surrounded by the different dimension table. But suppose you have like another dimension table, those are surrounded by those dimension tables. So this type of schema is called snowflake schema. So in last example, you know that your fact table will have primary and foreign key relationships, those with the surrounded dimension tables. And in this dimension table for that dealer, you can see that we have different location. So this location ID is also populated over here. Again, that location ID is like foreign key for this particular table, and the primary key for this dimension table. So whenever you see that fact table is surrounded by different dimension table, and those dimension table are also surrounded by the different dimension table, then that kind of schema we called it as snowflake schema. Then we have the galaxy schema or the fact constellation schema. What fast constellations can be viewed as collection of several star schema that are surrounded by each other, which looks like galaxy, hence it is called as a galaxy schema. So you know that only when fact table is surrounded by different dimension table, we call it as a star schema. But when different star schema combines together, and that kind of schema we called it as a galaxy schema. So these are the only three ways. Like there can be like again business requirement, that as per the business requirement people will do the, like they will combine the star and snowflake schema also. They will use only one, or like they will try to use the galaxy schema. Again, that will depends on the business requirement. But mostly you have to know that only that three different schemas are there which are used widely: star schema, snowflake schema, and sometimes like galaxy schema. And you know that what is star schema? A fact table is surrounded by different dimension table. Snowflake schema, a fact table is surrounded by different dimension table, and sometimes those dimension are also surrounded by different dimension table. And in Galaxy schema, difference means two or more than two star schemas are there. So those are like, we can call it as a galaxy schema. If you have any questions on this, like what is the different dimensional modeling schemas, just put it down in the comment section. I will try to answer those. Meanwhile, in the next session, I will try to cover the slowly changing dimension in the data warehousing, like SCD types. I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know about this.